Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining me. What's up, Jasper? What's up, Will? What's up, King? Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, guys. My name is Big Chonis. Thanks for joining me, guys. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. These are all my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I'm a crypto trader, a mentor, a chart psychologist, and an investor. Please do your own research. All right, let's just get right into it. It's been a little bit of time since we've talked, and I wanted to start with our daily chart here. Clean the chart up a little bit and look kind of where we ended for the day. And this is our current candle here. We're only about hour 40 into this one, but this guy here is what I want to talk about. Now, we closed above our upper Bollinger, and that's notable because, to say we haven't done that in a while, have we? And that is something that we have to keep in mind because our Bollingers have been very tight, especially on our daily chart. And we have to look at this in historic standards that this is very tight, especially the tightest we've been all of 2018. And that's notable. And the fact that we are still watching a tightening range here where we continue to be rejected every time we get up to the mid 6500s. Now we have been able to break out of this very tight range that we had all the way through October here, and now we're basically flirting just on the lower range of where we were in early October before we had this bear break and then this tether FUD pump that has been ranging us here. But either way, we are still in this extremely tight range. Now, this move here has brought us up about 5.5% ever since the end of October here. We're basically seeing that play out with consolidation here as we keep flirting with our upper Bollinger. Now, our move here has been able to bring us above our middle BB, above a lot of our indicators here that we're watching, EMA 1226, okay, EMA 55, MA 50. They've all been able to get above that and close above that after being rejected, especially on the wicks here, and here, and here at the MA 50 for several days before we were able just to break through all that. The bulls were able to break through all that on, better volume. We're definitely rising up here, which is definitely nice. Not anything to really glean yet from today's price action volume, but we definitely see once we bottomed out from a volume profile, as we close out the month of October, we're definitely increasing in that volume, and we're seeing this translate into a lot of our indicators here. Now, we were watching forever our RSI continue to be rejected by this area here. I think I've lost one of my angles here. There we go. And we're able to basically bust through that, find support on the 50 area, break through that, and get above. And now we're floating in this 58 to 60 area here, and that's a good run up on the RSI because it's showing. Remember, we're relative strength. We're showing continued strength, continued momentum, in the chart. But we also need to look at this from a historical standpoint. And we're watching, what are we watching here? Well, we're able to actually break through a couple indicators here in terms of our patterns here. This was a lower high that was able to break through. Okay, getting back up to this area, we have not been here since towards the end of September, earlier, the beginning of September, and we see what kind of a pattern we formed that same period. Now watch this. We were able to get up here. Look at this, very similar right here. I want to mark this because that's notable, right? Right around the 50 area, right? We found some chop in the RSI. We were able to break through that after an initial rejection period like we had here, and that brought us all the way up. Let's mark it to 59 exactly on the dot where we had topped off last time. So what happened last time? Well, we topped off there. Get my horizontal here. We then back tested and found support right around 56. So we could do something very similar. Because after we were able to find that support, look at that second push there. And we're able to get up as high as 64. So very similar pattern to our end of August, early September momentum in Bitcoin, and we see what that kind of translated to in the price at that moment. There, we were able to get up to about 6,800. So we talk about are you bullish or bearish? What does that really mean? And we have to ask ourselves, what are these areas that we can break through, either bullish or bearishly, that can tell us, oh wow, maybe a trend is really changing here. Maybe there's a directional momentum here. The fact that we've been ranging ever since of our bear break in early September here. I mean, this was a bear break. We were on a nice move here, and we gave back almost 17% here in 6 candles, 5 6 candles, $1,000 move there. It was huge. And ever since then, we've basically been ranging no higher than $6,800. So we basically resisted it here in the third week of September. And then when we had our Tether FUD Bitcoin pump, where do we wick off? I'm on Coinbase. I'm on the USD exchange. We wicked off right around $6,800. So again, that's the wall there. That's the wall that basically, when do we break it? We broke it September 5th. Notice we had also found support on it on August 30th when we had our first test here. When we actually on the daily put in a red 9 with a 4-bar trickle up there. Okay, now right now we're on a green 7 on the daily, but if I go to lower time frames here, we're actually on a green 8 on the 12-hour. A green, sorry, yeah, still, we're just turning into a red 1 there, so we were unable to actually complete a cycle there on the 6-hour. The 4-hour, we put in a 9 actually a couple candles ago there. So we're seeing two things. We're seeing a weakening in our trends here. And a lot of that just might have to do with things just to cool off a little bit. And look at this on our stochastic here. On our stochastic, after ranging here, putting in lower highs, higher lows, we were able to break that trend. And we look at that. We broke through. We put in a higher high. I'm going to get rid of this resistance line here. And look where we're hitting. We're hitting at our 100 line. Our 100 line, which we have not been to since the end of August. So that bullishness, again, you kind of want to compare. You kind of want to compare it. This was our end of August move here. This was a huge move. We went from 6K, a $1,300 move. Similar move in our Stoke here, and we basically went up $300. So we're doing almost a full cycle with not that much dollar volume and actual momentum here. But these moves are bringing a lot of indicators into more of a bullish stance. Our MACD. Remember, we were able to get back of it at the end of August there, right? Topping off here. Once again, our leading indicator has broken above our 0 line, okay, breaking through there. And now our trailing indicator is ever so close, and we're putting in a nice histogram profile here. Now, this is a good histogram profile. This is what happened at the end of August here when we were just putting those highs there, right? Leveled out. To see what this bullishness can look like. We're on a nice momentum, but we're also kind of towards the end of this movement here, it feels like, We've been building up and building up and building up. And all this time, we're still looking for that finality. And I almost feel like just because of where we're looking right now, there isn't a lot of room, if you will. There's room to move up a little bit higher. Our chalk and money flow is showing. We're seeing that money flow continue to flow in. We do see what a lower high would look like. We have a parallel here. We have our top off, double top here. So we have a clear trend line. And we have running room to get us, right, to this square, if you will, coinciding with these lower highs. But at least that shows that's one more bullish pop potentially still left in this cycle. I want to bring up our daily stochastic, squeeze momentum here. And we're putting in just these are green candles, these are weak candles. You see when we really start to break bullish, we see what kind of really nice mountain peaks we were able to, these are dailies here. So this is bupkis so far, nothing yet. This is our switch off from our shorts and our longs here. That's better. And you see we've crossed, and we've done that a bunch here and there, but our shorts are just so low. Our longs have been relatively rising. We're more or less back to where we were kind of mid-October, very oversold, and again, you got to ask yourself, what is this catalyst in terms of the price action of Bitcoin that could potentially make the shorts get a little more bullish? There's all this stuff, all these rumors about Backed is going live December 12th. ETFs are waiting in the wings. All these potential events that are supposed to create more value for Bitcoin, because we are in a news-driven market right now with a very low volume profile. So big money can make big moves very quickly. They really can. It's been a while since we've seen a very tightening profile here, as what we're seeing right now with the price of Bitcoin. So many days here. Pull up my date range here. I really can go back to. 60. That was more of a bigger move there. I just give it basically 2 months. For the past 2 months, we've been literally ranging in more or less, let's call it 12% range for 2 months, ups and downs. Which means our median is in the 6% range there. And from volatility standpoint, that's clearly the lowest we've seen all year, at least of the lowest. And because of that, because of our lower volume profile, we've allowed a lot of indicators to basically have these movements, have these cycles kind of play out without the dollar movements that we've been so used to. A lot of these moves here were quite large, as we had in July and even the end of August here, from a valuation percentage standpoint. 17% to 12%. To 47%. So the Bitcoin, we've been 51%. The Bitcoin we've been used to, the bounces we've been used to when we've been able to find our bottoms here. This was more than that. This was basically 100%, 100%, 50%, 47%, 17%, 12%. Range, and these are ranges here, getting lower and lower. But as we've seen, when Bitcoin can be stable with a chance for bullishness, our altcoins, respectively of their own independent charts, have been able to run. And that's pretty cool. So that's what we've continued to watch here. So let's look at a couple other things. Real quick shout out to the chat room. Once again, Jasper, Will, King, Zulu, Iceberg, Justin, Crypto77, Joe T, Jonathan Limes. Thank you so much for joining me. 63 of my closest friends tonight. Wednesday, November 7th. Getting closer to winter, getting a little colder out there. Leaves are falling where I am, East Coast USA, and just kind of hunkering down, getting ready for the winter months, and trying to plan out my plan for how I will want to trade Bitcoin and crypto in general, and what my expectations are as we close out this year. Remember, this year we got like a month and a half left, and we think about where we were a year ago, in the price of Bitcoin. Remember, a lot of people got into crypto and got into Bitcoin a year ago. And this is where we were a year ago, right here, November. We were about 7,000, we're lower than we were a year ago, and then we basically went from $7,800 to $5,500. So even in that time period there, we had a 26% drop after going up 40%, so a major pullback. A very volatile month of November, right, where we basically had over 80%. Oops, did that backwards. Swing low. 80% pullback in that move there in November. That was a year ago, and then after that we shot up from, as we all remember, from 5,000 to 20K. Now, this time period, obviously, and that time period are very different. This bull movement took years in the making. It took a confluence of the overall stock market at the time of year it happened, the politics of the moment, if you will, the flood of money into ICOs at the time. It was tremendous, and it just was a roaring tiger that was ready to just explode, and boy, did it do it. But we fast forward to where we are now, a year later, And we just have this. Remember, this was momentum. This brought in a train of power, and this unwind has let out all that power. All that power. So all this consolidation has basically allowed this power to kind of seep through and weaken as we've basically become to tighten our very tighten equilibrium. So when we keep getting tighter like this, what indicators can you really look at to give yourself more of a bigger picture profile when the daily chart is just continuing to reign in such a tight profile? So when we expand to higher time frames here, and this is our 3-day, and I've made note on this of this on several tweets that breaking the 3-day MA200, which is our red line here. Oops, that's not the one I want. Call out. Whoa, MA200. Basically has been a very epic event because this has not happened since our 2014 fractal. And when we did this in 2014, we flirted with it for a couple times. We bounced below, we shot up, bounced below, we shot up higher, and we actually rejected somewhere around what the present day EMA 55 would potentially be, followed by the remainder of our very bearish movement into 2014 and early 2015. And that all happened because of this one event. Well, not this one event, but what happened after the break of the MA200 on the 3-day chart. So I'm on a higher time frame, right? Looking at this from a broader perspective. Now, let's face it, our last 3 candles here have been very nice, right? These are 3-day candles. So this is the 6th. So we're only 2 days into this candle. So we have 3, 6. So we have 8. This is 8 days of price action represented by 3 candles that are basically right now putting in a higher low than where we had been previously ranging ever since mid-October. So that's very notable, which puts our next resistance area about $6,600. But we have to get above our MA200. And I also note that we are wicking out right here on my EMA 26 on our 3-day Coinbase chart. And that's notable because that is also one of my EMAs that I keep track of with my EMA 12 as well as my leading indicator, EMA 26. And again, areas of support here, here, and here are now areas of resistance. And when we go bullish and we get wicked out by our EMA 26, that's notable. We break that. And yeah, we can definitely get up to that 6,800 area, basically retesting, as I said earlier in the show, this wick off here and this wick off right here of resistance, basically right at $6,800. 6,800 as our major resistance area, like right here. And that's where we need to get to make this chart look more than just another one of these runs that just falls out very quickly. And if that happens, then we end up flirting with our all-time lows of 2018, which still remain our June lows of, let's just say, 58, 57, a little under $5,800 there. And yeah. So let's go to a weekly. Again, going to a higher time frame here. And let's clear the board. And again, EMA 12 here. Yep, EMA 12. Still not able to hit it yet. Nice. Remember, yes, last week basically showed a good amount of support here. By the length of our lower wick, volume was higher than the previous week, though low. That is notable. So we're ranging higher candle. Okay. But again, breaking $6,500. Like right there, which is my EMA 12 on my weekly. More like 65.60 here. That's our next move. We can get through that. Again, yeah, we can definitely get 60 and pretty quickly because of this candle here. This candle, this falling through this quickly here, it kind of left a gap, a little bit of a volume gap, that if we can get up here in a bullish stance, retesting these areas here, about 68 to even as high as like 7,000. That's definitely your best bull case scenario. But even in that situation, I feel we have to discuss what our bearish scenarios are. And I bring up our bearish scenarios because I talk about our kind of go to 492. Go to Bitstamp here because this has a longer history with pretty much the same price profile. Because listen, this blue line here, call out, this is our MA 100, long-term MA, right? And its red line here is our MA 200 that you have to keep note of because we haven't touched them yet. You know, we have not touched them yet. And you could say, okay, maybe we just wait for the MA 100 to come up to us, right? It's currently at $5,700. Okay, our MA 200 is currently at 3,000 and change. You know, but boy, would it take a while for our MA to catch up. But our MA 100, yeah, I could see that. Kind of keep ranging in this area here, a little bullishness, right? We wait a couple more weeks till our MA 100 begins to get a little higher. When does this start to change? We still have a long way before our MA 100 changes direction, right? So 100 days. Oh, not really. Wait, this is weekly. Oh, weekly. Yeah, 100 days. So right here. Oh, interesting. Ooh, interesting. So our 100-day is still keeping in mind a Bitcoin price of around 8,000. So this is going to start to turn very quickly, just as our MA50 here has begun to turn over as well. Let me mark that here. MA50. MA50, MA100, MA200. Now listen, MA50 was used as support. We can clearly see that on a weekly standpoint, right? For 3 weeks in a row when it was initially tested. And then it was rejected as resistance for 3 weeks in a row, right? And that was bad, and we broke bearish. And the bulls tried to re-step in. And look at that. Our MA50 on the weekly was where the party was ended, right? Big rejection here. We broke through it intra-week. And that was it. And that's where we've been going lower here. So does it make more sense to test our MA100 as support than to retest our MA50 as resistance once again? We're going to watch these as they get tighter because as we get a couple more weeks here, maybe just one more week, our MA100 is going to start to turn pretty quickly. Our MA200 still has a ways to go because that's still using a lot of the data from back here at a much higher Bitcoin price. But we're getting tighter here. We're getting tighter. And these these MAs, long-term MAs, they have to tighten just as they had been previously, right? They have to get a lot tighter until we can use them as supports once again, longer term supports. You know, and that's notable. Now, what we're watching here is we're still watching Tether, still unable to hold, right? $1. We're at 99. I think we were at a little lower on one of the other exchanges. But because of that, what are we on here on Kraken? Oh, we're about 99. We were lower earlier in the day, right? We were at the 98s. Because of that, we still have these price differentials in the USD exchanges to the Tether exchanges. So yes, it's fine to use, in my opinion, Coinbase, Bitstamp, but if you want to use Binance or Phoenix, then you're basically using the Tether pairing, and it's going to have a higher price USD. Also using MEX, BitMEX. Where's my BitMEX? XBT. XBT USD. Okay, this is also USD, so this works as well, and it gives you a different volume profile. Although this is some leverage here as well. But again, this doesn't give you as much of a history with the USD though. That the way that Bitstamp gives you quite a bit of good enough history to get your longer term charts in as well. Again, all of our sideways price action has brought us very sideways in our price action. Now, listen, um, Bitcoin stability, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, obviously, what's going on with it? Okay, the fork, the pump. You know, we had seen this before. Bitcoin Cash runs hard, right? When it runs. And this fork, where is my other chart? Is it this one? Yeah, Coinbase. The fork happening on the 15th. Okay, so we still have, get my daily. We're here, so we still have like what, 7 more days left. Okay, so we got another week of this, another week of what, loading and holding, holding and loading until the fork happens, and then what happens? The massivest dump. Is that what shorts are going to be like waiting for to load the shorts here? You know, have we even completed our full cycle here? You know, we've been trying to count all these 5 waves all the way, all the way, uh, continuing to expand. You know, this was a beautiful triangle pennant here. You know, that broke through. Just gorgeous, pretty textbook there, with just a very nice extension, pretty much on par to where the breakout happened, and yeah, I mean, listen, this basically shows. Oops, not that one there. 3, 4, 5. I think it's pretty clear. And what was our 5 extension here? 786. So yeah, it was a good 786, and that's because our third wave was extended to over 2 to 1 from our wave 1. So I would expect this fifth wave to be a lot less of an extension than our 3 to 5 was. So that coincides for that. And if we're kind of do that and think about potentially where a full retrace could be, kind of start from the beginning again, basically, you know, our basically where it all started, our swing low to our swing high, and begin to track or retrace, if we continue to do so, which our first support at 23.6 is at 584. Noticing, look at that, that coincides exactly with where our wave 3 pretty much topped off there. So that 584, let me use my rectangle here, is our first support, and then we go back, see, down to the 550 range, and that also again coincides with the lowest range, the low range, of where we actually found support here before we finished our fifth one there. And then after that, you know, I'm looking for my golden zone here, not the golden pocket, but the golden zone, where I like to basically find. Now, look at the profile here, where this candle, okay, shot up so quickly here on the 6 hour, which is very little of a retrace. I mean, total Maribozu there. You know, look at that. Look at that. Just a bar up, you know. Um, so there's some gaps in there that would pretty much take me almost to the, at least the first wick of the last wick of the consolidation, somewhere there. But again, as we continue to retrace from here, we have to watch the volume profile of who steps in, you know, what buyers step in at these levels, to see if there's still a value in the price, and then at what time. Remember, there's a clock ticking here. You know, we have 7 more days till the event that kind of spurred on this bullish move here. So you got to keep that in mind as well, because that's definitely going to affect the trend, and especially the lead up to it. You know, so we'll keep watching this one and keep seeing if we're kind of continue to see what's going on there. Because right now, as we start our day, we're a couple hours, we're 2 hours into our day here. You know, we're seeing a little more consolidation. A lot of these charts look good. They look good because we're holding these consolidations. You know, but Bitcoin continues to run the show, and you know, I could run through a whole bunch of alt charts. Some are running better than others, but we're still watching. We're just waiting for that next push, that next really push of big money. Now, through this, our market cap has risen decently. You know, we were up to 219 now. I think we were as low as 204, 205. a couple weeks ago. Now notice our Bitcoin dominance has dropped. We were at 53, 55%. Now we're at 51.7. So a lot of that money has gone into our altcoins here. Look at our top 10. Just look at our profile here of all of our charts. What do you see here? You see some topping, some rollovers. Ripple still looks bullish, trending. Stellar looks like it still looks good there too. Tether, look at that. Stablecoin, right? Oop. Tron, a little uptick there. Dash, a little uptick there. IOTA consolidating. BNB Binance Coin, a nice little tick there as well. And Neo, I mean, look at these. They're nice upticking charts. The past 7 days, right? NEM. But some of them are definitely in a consolidation mode. But all these look pretty good. Like, look at this. All this look more or less pretty good, except for Doggy Coin. Except for OX, ZRX. Right? Nice. See some down to the top 30 here. So the top 30, the past 7 days, you know, the majority of these have looked pretty good. Oof, not Asteria. This one looks, oof, what happened to that one? You know, we're putting in higher lows, or at least we're ranging, you know, more or less. Not everything. Some look better than others, but that's good. And we've been seeing that money go into the alts because of the stability of Bitcoin here. Bitcoin 4.6 billion, 24-hour volume. Circulating supply 17,365,062 and slowly climbing. Market cap 113 billion. Remember, we were as low as 3 billion a couple weeks ago. You know, so they've raised a little bit, 10 billion. Look at our volume. It's better. I mean, it's better. 4 billion, 4 billion, 4.749. Right? We were in the threes most of October. A lot of September, right? We got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. A little four-ish, little 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. 5 days in a row here of good volume. Right? It's good volume. So that's what we're watching. We're watching Bitcoin, and we're seeing if it can continue to hold this range. Can we continue to consolidate here? We're trying to flag once again. We did a flag here. We broke bullish. We're trying to flag again, right? If we start breaking down, you know, we're going to have to watch these areas of retrace that coincide with areas where we had previously topped off with resistance. You know, 64.60. It's kind of our first stop there. It's also going to coincide with my EMA 12 on my 6-hour chart. And we're going to see how these areas, remember, just keep these higher lows. You know, it's okay if we do a little ABC here, but keep these higher lows. We can keep it going. So there's a lot waiting in the wings here, but we can range for quite a while still. Nothing happens bullishly until we break 68, right? And frankly, nothing happens bearishly until we really break like the 5750 area. You know, until we break either of these two areas here, Bitcoin can remain in this equilibrium of a difference of about $1,000. I guess I could make this 5,800 just to make it easier, and keep it around $1,000. So this range, you know, we've seen allows money to flow into altcoins and what have you, in prospectively of their own stories. Right? Very last thing here, real quick. BCH shorts, Bitcoin Cash shorts. They're flirting, man. They've been loading. They pulled back a little bit. They're loading again. I'm pretty bullish on shorting BCH. Bitcoin Cash longs are also very bullish. So there's a real battle there. Bitcoin longs continue to, whoa, what the heck? Oh yeah, continue to rise. There we go. On the 6-hour here, continue to rise up. Pretty strong, not crazy, but pretty strong. Getting a little frothy though in some of the indicators. Bitcoin shorts is just in this amazing amazing bearishness or bullishness, if you will, inversely, than we've seen ever. This has been extraordinary bearishness in this chart. Daily RSI at 22. Crazy all-time low. Wasn't we were at 30 here? 22. 22. And why are we here? We're here in this zone. We've broken through our September lows and we look poised to flirt with our August lows. I mean, we're slowing our... I don't even want to say we're slowing our trend here, but this is set for a turnaround. This is set for some sort of loading. And I remember there was at a TD... Yeah, we're at a 9. We're at a TD9 on our daily, okay? And you better believe it's a perfected 9 too, so I'm good with that. So we set a new low. And technically speaking, this can still bleed out for a couple days, but we're getting close to a reversal. Now, a reversal can definitely mean a higher Bitcoin price. Bitcoin price goes higher, shorts load into it. But if Bitcoin price goes lower, shorts can also feel like the momentum is gone and shifted, and they can definitely load up. All right, that's a good show. What do we do today? 37 minutes. That's good. That's good. Once again, thank you for all that have joined me in the chat room tonight. Naven, Kieran, Pat, Donkey Boy, Joe T, Chad, Ryan C, hello Jane, King, thank you so much once again. Got some cool announcements to be talking about in the next couple days, couple weeks as we head into the end of the year. But I'm very excited about the future. Let's just leave it at that. Remember, if you like this information, like this content, please give me a thumbs up. I love the thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. And feel free to reach out to me with any questions. And definitely talk to you guys soon as we get closer to some real... I don't know. I think something big's going to happen soon with the Bitcoin price action. You know, either an opportunity to kind of scale in and get in a lower price potentially, or at least to see some sort of a trend change in what we've been seeing for quite some time here in the price action of Bitcoin. But something big's going to happen, and you know, as traders, as smart traders, we can definitely take advantage of that. So until next time, Big Chonis signing out. Talk to you soon. Peace.